It is the members-only webinar that we have once a month, first Tuesdays every month, and we have some surprises for you. Both Jimmy Kelley and Kevin Polly are on this call, which is sometimes Kevin lurks, but he doesn't let us know that he's there. But Sue has dragged him out to the administrative side of things. Kevin and I have been working on the sales, copy, marketing for the new hosting or the PinVid server hosting services we're offering. That's been a lot of fun. Jimmy and I have been working on Tech Foundation Certification Level 2 training for this week too, which is all about domain authority stacking and content curation combined. Get out of the way. So we're really full on here. And Sue's been doing what she does, spec writing. She's a spec writing queen at this point, working on the Kraken domination software, the video Kraken. Gosh, you're working on so many things, Sue, that I actually lose track.
So do I.
The perpetual keyword money machine software, the painkiller and writer's block breaker. Oh my God, the traffic hospital plugin, and just when you think she can't add one more software on there, boom, she adds it, and we're all just looking on in horror. No, in excitement, I mean. So we're excited. We have a lot going on, you guys. As you can see, our organization is really growing with the whole certification curriculum that allows you to, use vouchers for anything you ever pay for. It's really been working for students. So this webinar is all about, traditionally has been about bringing your own website silo architecture site so that we can review it, talk about it, help you get the correct structure. I would also suggest that, of course, within limits, that you take advantage of Kevin and Jimmy being here. We can talk about things like semantic web, at least in briefly, or in the light. We're not going to go too deep into it, but they're here. Also, domain authority stacking, basic flow. We're not going to get into advanced stuff, but we're here so we can include all that. Okay. So who's got a website? Who is the student today that is going to be putting their website before everyone?
Hey, Jimmy, Kevin, and I have been throwing links back and forth about the new stuff from Google recently. Kevin, do you want to make any comments on that?
That'd be good.
Regards to SSL or what's happening with authorship?
Authorship.
Authorship. Yeah, so much has been sort of published recently. There's lots and lots of information out there. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think it's an experiment in finding out more about people's habits that has concluded authority itself is the underpinning foundation of the web as we move forward. With the link between what they've done and statements about SSL, it's highly probable that using their knowledge graph, they're able to determine a lot better than they thought who is publishing what. So if the click-throughs that they were talking about aren't as good as they're saying, then it does make a lot of sense with Google's stated drive towards a mobile environment to take back some of their real estate in the form of those pictures. The rich snippets for different products are still there. Currently they're still there if you're logged in and it's somebody that you've friended. You'll see that.
Circled.
Yeah, circled, yeah. And interestingly, just going through here, this video that's on the page that you've just seen, Google came out with rel author, and technically the W3C had sort of got rel me in mind. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting to look at some of the future ways of verification through browser and ways of accessing your own sites that rel me is still used within security protocols to a degree. So that's still going to be there. Authority hasn't gone away. It's just that little picture and that perception of author rank and authors that they've moved out of the way, and sort of the important thing that I saw in the initial announcement from John Mueller was that they were having a lot greater emphasis put on the use of schema.org. So if you've started implementing that, the semantic technology, you're heading in the right direction. We can only see more of that in the weeks, months, and years to come.
And Kevin, the verified publisher is also on the Rich Snippets tool as well?
Yeah, that's gonna disappear.
Okay.
They've said sort of quite bluntly the experiment has ended. If you want to remove the code that you've put on your site, you can. It's not going to hurt whether it's there or not.
Okay.
So, publisher is still something different, okay? So your authorship markup you can sort of put to one side, not bother putting in anymore, but your publisher markup, where Google are looking at brands and trying to promote brands and understand more about the brand, having your publisher markup there still has some advantage.
Okay, so that it's in the Rich Snippet tool now. We should leave that, and that's connected to the Google Plus page, which we talked about last week. So we should continue to do that. Okay, good. Very good stuff to know. Sue, where do you want to go from here?
I'm waiting for guys. If you want us to review your site, go ahead and drop us links.
Oh yeah. So we have people still moseying into the room. Looks like a lot of the certification folks from various levels. So it looks like we have 3 people from Certification 1, a couple of Certification 2. Also, we have regular. I see Fran here. Hello, Fran. Guy, Jim. There's people walking in still. The purpose of this has been to take a look at your actual site, and if you guys don't drop an actual site, we're going to hang up. No, just kidding. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Nobody's given us a site yet, and we're 5 minutes in. Who wants to give us a website for us to review and look at? That's really the purpose of this. And we did not bring any to look at with you. Okay, here we go. We got one for you, Sue. Patrick wins the prize. simslab.com. Thank you, Fran, for the backup. Appreciate it.
So Patrick's saying you can't get it off page 2 for the term transmission repair, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
It's been like that for 3 months.
I see.
So maybe we can pick Jimmy's brain on this.
Yeah, Jimmy happens to be here.
I don't know nothing about this kind of stuff.
No, not at all.
All right. This is going to take a little bit of analysis here.
What's the word they're targeting, Sue? What are you targeting, Patrick?
Transmission repair, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Looks like he's going for quality transmission repair. Oh, it's the page.
Interestingly enough, you've got Indian Trail, which I'm assuming is a suburb of Charlotte.
Indian Trail, North Carolina.
Transmission repair. Oh my.
Give me a minute. I got to throw this
No
stuff
worries.
in tools. So just like do a dance or something for
No
me.
worries. So yeah, I'm in the process of doing a dance as well. So a link right off your homepage to Wikipedia for auto repairs. I don't tend to do that. If I'm going to link off to an authority site, I do it down in the depths of the site, not off the homepage.
I know where he got that idea, and we're not saying that it's necessarily how to be diplomatic. I know where you got that idea, Patrick, and it is not a bad thing. As Sue was saying, you can go deeper in, and that's all I'm going to say about it. Just go deeper in. Don't go off the homepage.
I didn't say it was a bad thing.
No.
Just so the idea behind that is.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was getting at too.
This is your website, and you want to be an authority on transmission repair in Charlotte, North Carolina. So to do that, you're going to link from your homepage. You're going to link to the silo pages on your site, and from the silo pages, you're going to link down into the next level, supporting articles pages. And then from the supporting article pages, if you've got if you're talking about something and you want to refer people to more information, you can link off to something like Wikipedia. But when you link off right from your homepage, what it says to me is, I'm not actually the authority on this topic, this main topic here, that you go see Wikipedia. So that's why I put it down deep in the site and not off the homepage.
Yeah, and if you want to get serious about stuff like that, Patrick, we talk at certification and other courses about creating your own wiki. I mean, make no mistake, Wikimedia, what is it called? Media Wiki Sorry. Whatever that
Media
software.
Wiki.
I mean, it's a power ranker just because of the way it deals with H1s and all this, and I'm sure Kevin would have something to say about it. But that's a little bit of a project and kind of expensive for like a local, thing. Have I said it? Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the source code from a semantic perspective as well. The site is marked up, so that's going to give you a bit of a thumbs up. One of the interesting things here is on the home page, the schema markup is actually got a H1 in the head, and you've used the item prop headline as home. So you'd need to sort of look at that, and if the headline of your site is going to be home, maybe change that word to something else or just alter this markup. Get your transmission fixed right is also in a H1. So you've got two H1s there. You need to sort of look at that. Then I've gone through to the page Sue was looking at, and I'm just trying to sort of get a feel for that. It's got some markup on it, but I haven't had a chance to look at it at the moment. One thing that strikes me is there's a lot of inline styling that could be slowing things down for the volume of copy that the human should see in relation to the amount of code on that particular page. It's quite significant, but that's all I can say at the moment. I'll carry on looking.
I'm going to go ahead and drop the rich snippet. You're using the rich snippet structured data testing tool, right? I'll go ahead and drop that in the window for all you guys to look at. Also, I did notice that the publisher markup is not yet active, Patrick. I'm understanding what Kevin said this morning, and also stuff that I've been experimenting with myself, that is an easy and useful thing to accomplish. So I would recommend doing it unless I'm corrected by one of my peers here.
Yeah, I think I got my stuff all pulled up now.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and drop that for you guys. The publisher just means you got to get a Google Plus Biz page, Patrick. That's the only way to get that activated, and you have to confirm that the link, that Biz page, is owned by the website. That'll verify it. And there's some kind of weird things that go on with getting your brand ranked for schema. If that hasn't changed, I'll check with Kevin because a couple things have changed, but it's kind of interesting how that works.
It's the schema on there. I think this has come with the theme. Is that right?
This is the same, Patrick. Is this the same theme that? Are you an OMG person, Patrick? Yeah, you get this from Mike Long. Is this the Nashville SEO theme? Looks awful familiar. Wild Country. Okay. No, that Wild Country is not marked up. So you must have put in what, WP Social or something. I wonder how you marked up the, because Wild Country's, you did the markup. You naughty boy.
Okay.
Okay.
Rich, I don't see, or Russ, I don't see where you dropped in the rich snippet.
I'm sorry, I got it right here. Sending to all. Boom. There you guys should have it. Let me see. Oh, I got to put it in the chat window. I'm going to send to all, entire audience. There's the rich snippet, and Kevin taught me how to do URL equals, so it's just, I got the little functional software bookmarklet. It's really cool.
So let me explain while Sue's going through that. Just some of the things that you can see there. Right at the top, you've got the ratings. Now, there's no guarantee that the ratings you see in the structured data testing tool will appear on your site. There's a whole gamut of things to consider, and I don't even want to go there at the moment. But that's a representation that Google give you of what they might like, or people might see as the snippet that they show. As you come down, there is no publisher markup there, so Google doesn't know that you're a publisher. By putting your publisher markup on your site, that is still valid. You don't have to do the author markup, as I said earlier. The structured data, what you've put in, it's telling the world of semantics that this is a web page, and you can see there an error. Okay, and the way I look at it is errors within schema.org that Google show you, you really should get rid of, because it's going to stop one of their processes working. If you think of it like that, you're not going to be that far off. Excuse me.
CIA.
Yeah, I didn't see. I wasn't expecting to be on here tonight. That means I just have to send some flowers to my mum. But there you go.
Oh yeah. Okay. Good.
What you've then got is that page. You're saying that there's an element of it which is the header, and within that you've got the headline and a short description which Google pulls out. Then below that you're telling it that there's also a creative work. And you can see there the headline home that I was on about. So straight away, although the header is there, and sort of Google will realise that, well, the headline of the header is that, by having home in creative content, it's not as descriptive as it could be, and it doesn't really relate to twin transmission. So try and just sort of alter that. The fact that you've got auto repair in there, it's just saying it's an auto repair sort of markup. It doesn't relate to anything. It's not as a business type or something like that, but you have got an address and you have got an aggregate rating. So while the aggregate rating is good in there, technically I'd like to see a little bit more cohesion around that. Postal address is great, the aggregate rating is great. It's just those little things that, especially the error, that Google will hold against you. So do what you can to get rid of that. It's not an easy thing to do manually. Well done for getting it there.
Good job, Patrick. Okay, that's the semantic side of things.
The one thing that I see just by looking through the site is a lack of text. You've got a small paragraph on the home page. On your site of the landing page, you don't have anything. It's just the video. And then down these two articles, you have a little bit more text. But that's just 3 paragraphs there. It's just a couple of paragraphs over here on the quality transmission. And then you go off into these other things, and these 3 tabs don't really have any content. You've only got an article on your blog, so one article that I could see on your blog. And so just looking at it from the perspective of text to number of pages, you haven't really reinforced your theme well enough, in my humble opinion, to be able to make a statement, which means if you don't have, you have to have a certain degree of content on site that gets the concept of transmission repair across, and then you can have inbound links, and there's a symbiotic relationship there, and that you can establish the theme with off-site links, but it's harder. You still have to have at least a minimum amount of content. I think that's a bit thin. Jimmy, what are you seeing?
Well, I ran a report for everything. So,
do you want me to switch screens to you so we can look at those?
Yeah, that'd probably be helpful.
Okay.
Let me know if you can see it okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
All right, so the first thing I did, go check the keyword density on it. So this one I just use SEOcentro.com, and they have a little tool that is your keyword density. So this is what you have on that specific homepage URL. I don't know how it looks against the entire site, but that's also something to pay attention to. So this percentage right here, I like to keep these 2% and under. So you could see on your first two, transmission repair for the one word density, it's pretty high on both of those. So you're going to want to put more pure diverse or LSI type replacements in here to bring this percentage down. Or you can also write more content, one of the two.
Yeah.
So the next thing you could do, I'll show you this one. So this percentage is sitting at, your transmission repair is sitting at 2.5%. You want to try and get that to 1.8. So again, that could just be adding more content to the page or cutting out the amount of times that you use this word. It's either or. And then on your 3 keyword density, you're not bad on that. You have some that have contain transmission repair, but typically any that contain transmission repair, if that's what I'm trying to rank for, I try to get these down to 0.2%. So that's the first thing, the density. So just by adding more content, you should be able to bring those percentages down. The next thing I did was run a anchor text just to see like what's going to the site, at least what I can see. I don't know if you're blocking some with Spider Spanker or something. So so the way I look at anchor text is if you could only tell Google what the story is about your site using anchor links, like it wouldn't be very natural if you just use like transmission repair, best transmission repair, stuff like that. So you can kind of see, and the densities are kind of high on some of these. So this crimsonlab.com transmission repair is a little dense. You want to bring that down closer to the 6% range, but that's a partial match. And then you have some others that are just, it's a similar kind of thing. It's saying transmission and transmission repair. So those are the anchors that are pointing to your page, but then you have too much density for those keywords on page. And so that's kind of the relationship you want to determine when you're sending your backlinks to your page, is making sure that percentages stay down in here and that you're not too dense on page. So the third thing I did was run a screaming frog crawl on your site. And I would agree with Sue that it'd be good just to put more content on the site. I think it's going to help theme your site better for helping your rankings. I mean, Google likes sites that have a lot of content and engagement that's going on with that. So,
Hey, Jimmy?
Yeah.
I think Patrick is trying to tell us that this was a PBN. Patrick, is this a PBN? I didn't get that.
No, he was saying that his PBN's links are all spider spanked.
Oh,
so you
okay.
can't see them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to tell the density on those ones.
Understood. Okay.
So the other thing is here, I would just get your meta descriptions all the way across. Like, don't put any meta descriptions in and get rid of all your keywords. What you do is you just focus on your title and then make sure the keywords you want to rank for are included in your content. Because if you do it that way, then Google will just find those keywords and rank you for that naturally anyway. So you're not forcing Google to do it. So that's recommendations I would do for that. And then this one's still running, but I was going to show you how to find the pure diverse for the last keyword tool, but it's still going. So that's what I suggest is just, put more content on, and it sounds like that's going to help a lot of what you're dealing with.
Very cool.
And then tabs on your anchor percentages coming in.
Just to clarify, Jimmy, you said, what was that anchor percentage you recommended again?
For for the backlinks or for the on-page?
The on-page and the backlinks.
So okay, so this one, you want to have these at like 2%.
Right.
For your one word.
That's what I was looking for.
On the 2 words, I'd like to keep this at 1.8 or lower. And then for your third one, I try to keep that in the 0.2 range. Now for backlinks, typically I don't want to go over the main keyword more than 2%, 1 to 2%, somewhere in there. And your partials and LSIs won't go over 6 to 7%. And then, of course, like other and stuff like that will be mixed in there.
Guys, you should all have written that down because that's a major giveaway on this this members webinar. So write all that down, or watch it again if you need to grab it.
Hey, you could show them in the last keyword tool a different drill and show them how to do the.
Yeah, let me go. Let me just pull up. I tried to run Oh, it just finished.
Excellent.
There we go. Okay, let me go find it again. Oh, I'll just go back to Queued Project. Okay, so your pure diverse that are in here, so it's basically, I won't use them if they contain the keyword you're trying to rank for, and it might be hard with this keyword, but you could still, like, auto repairs could be one, rebuilt. I guess the plural will count. So auto service, like stuff like that where it's the same but not containing the keyword, are good to use as your backlinks as well, because it still is relevant and themes the story that you're trying to give without repeating, repeating the same word over and over.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Very cool. Patra is asking, what is the quickest way to dilute the current anchor text?
Your anchor text doesn't look that bad. I mean, I would just, go in with some 2.0s or something like that and just be using like other type anchors. You certainly don't have like thousands of links on there that I could see. So it should be relatively easy to bring those percentages down just by, when you do your link building, just do like your URL variations and then also just adding in your pure diverse and other type links. So like click here, visit this site, things like that.
Okay. Anybody else have a site you want us to look at? Well,
thank you. Good night.
to go grab friends.
That's right. Okay, so hopefully you guys took notes on that. That's some crazy stuff. You had a semantic makeover, and you had a on-page and off-page makeover. Only thing I see as far as the neural marketing makeover, which is my department, is, I would like to see more about what you're offering. Maybe just a little. After all, you are trying. You guys are trying to get. What's the purpose of the site? Just to clarify, Patrick. I mean, what's the main function? Get phone calls? Well, I know that, Sue.
Oh,
oh geez, have we really been up that late?
yes.
To promote the company, but what is the definition of success? I just want to clarify. I know it sounds like a stupid question, and neuromarketing tends to always be left to last. I get that because we're technology driven. So is your definition of success sales? Is it phone calls, or it doesn't matter? Sales, okay. What's the current conversion rate? Question 1, do you have that? And how are you tracking that? And so these are just the things that you want to not forget. I mean, it's great to do all the SEO, have the markup. Obviously, the markup is going to lead to people finding your local, also on your local maps, and so on and so forth. But you're trying to get, okay, so you're not tracking conversion, or do you have a phone call? Oh, you have a phone number that's tracking conversion, so that you know that your client knows that you're successfully driving traffic and conversion to their site. And if not, why not? That would be one thing I would consider. Sue can vouch for the effectiveness of properly tracking incoming inbound phone calls.
Absolutely.
You're not sure about client expectations? Okay. Obviously, I don't know the contract or if this is just a test or whatever, but one of the things that we cover in Tech Foundation 2, which is already launched, but you guys can jump in any time, it's a certification level 2, is perpetual keyword tracking and persuasion. In other words, don't forget that the purpose of these sites is to get human beings through the door, right? And Patrick himself just said that that's the purpose of this thing. So you got to track that. If you've got clients or you're in the lead business, you've taken our local leadsempire.com course. If you're doing all these things, how do you know? How can you prove that you're providing this kind of conversion for your clients if you don't have a way to track it? So in that course, we talk a lot about, how to track phone calls if you're in the lead business. And remember, you guys, you're in this to make money, so don't forget to track the actual sales conversions. That's probably what I would add, Sue, just as a neuromarketing.
Yeah. And I saw also in one of the meta descriptions where you had the phone number in the description itself, and I think that that's a great thing, either in the title or in the description. What Jimmy was talking about in terms of taking out the description is he's trying to make it so that it's not keyword rich. And I also prefer the phone number in the title, but you got to make sure the title's not too long if you're going to do that.
Yep, absolutely. I would also add something that Jimmy and I were talking about yesterday. We'll talk more about it today. I can tell that the video that you're using on your homepage is the video that belongs to the twin transmission repair company. And the main thing that you want to watch, generally speaking, is, and Jimmy and I have talked a lot about this, that you don't want the link, if you're on a sub page or on a blog post page, you don't want the link from the YouTube description to go back to the page that the video is about, weirdly. Because obviously, as Jimmy was saying, you can jump in if you want, Jimmy. That cancels out the link flow, or you're not going to get any benefit that way. You want to link up to the top of the silo, or you want to link to the root, which I can see that you've done because that video is on the root. I've also noticed that you have videos that don't belong to anything. You have eHow and these other. Obviously, for a WR1 site, you're going to want to have your own videos eventually on those pages, if you possibly can at all. And then you would want to go ahead and follow Jimmy's tagging method of those descriptions, which is, I think, 250 to, what was it, Jimmy, for the description amount? 250 to 300 words?
Yeah, 250 to 300.
Yeah, and he's got that, and I can see he's done a good job. He's got his, Jimmy, he has his map linked from the YouTube description. Is that good?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's good.
Do that. Yeah.
And generally speaking, if you've got, we talk a lot about this, Patrick, in the social side of things. We talk about it in TechFound Certification Level 2. Put your what we call, Jimmy and I call the big 7. You don't want to put a ton of social, you don't want to put overdo every little thing, like every little social account you have. But the big 6 or 7 is pretty good, which is Twitter, Facebook, Google+, personal, if it's appropriate, and/or page, which will be the 7th. You probably want to use your LinkedIn if you've got one. And you can link to those, either the individual post, or you can link to the top level, the fan page itself, either the profile page or, the Facebook page, or the individual post if you're posting on a blog post. Does that make sense, Patrick? You did pretty good by that, actually.
Yeah. The one other thing I would say is you could add some trust building to this page. So down here, I can tell that you're going to have reviews come in down here, which would be great. But anything else that you can add that's trust building, like if you're part of the Better Business Bureau, or if you've gotten any kind of awards, or if anybody's had anything good to say about what you guys do, or if you're in the community, or anything like that.
Yeah.
Giving back to the community, all those kinds of things help to
yeah.
trust.
And I don't have to tell you guys that a video with, I know I'm going out into neuromarketing and social trust building and the rest, but I'm just going to toss this out there anyway, Patrick. Obviously, a video with a business owner who's a real human being on the homepage describing how many years they've been in business and how much they care about your car and this and that is literally an order of magnitude, not just a little percentage greater in conversion, but an order of magnitude many, many, many times to something you would buy and have put together on Fiverr, which is what you did. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not being critical. I'm just saying that if you really want customers in the door and say, oh, wow, it's Papa John. He's been working on transmissions for 25 years, and, and he cares about your car, and he's there to look at stuff, right? Don't forget, at the end of the day, the Internet, despite popular belief, is actually for human beings. So remember that. Okay, cool.
Exactly. All right.
We are actually 39 minutes in. Do we guys, that was actually super, super rich. Do we want to stop here, or do you want to do another one?
Mitch has got one.
You want Mitch? Oh, Jimmy's on fire this morning. He wants to tear these sites apart. All right, look out. Mitch, go ahead and drop your link. We'll take a look at it.
We've got friends, too.
Yeah, she's a backup plan.
Okay.
We already did that one, but it looks
Yeah,
like she's made some improvements.
Okay.
Good job, Fran. We might not get to it today, but
altonhillsroofing.ca.
yeah.
Alton.
I think it's HALTONHILLS roofing.ca.
Oh, we're still showing your screen. Do you want to take it back while you do your research?
Oh yeah, you can grab it if you want. Is this it?
Yep,
Alton Hill?
that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, you guys can go first while I start running reports.
All right.
I like the phone number location. I'm going to wonder where your phone number is.
Right? And the social media that you were talking about?
Yeah, that's kind of what we're, yeah, Patrick, there's a couple of things you could pull away from this one for yours as well. I mean, it's not perfect, but there is more social proof. And you can see
the keyword he's trying to rank for.
What is the keyword? Yeah, great question. Is it residential and commercial roof installation, Mitch? Oh, roofing Georgetown and Georgetown roofing.
Okay.
Free roofing inspection, roofing testimonials. I like that right up at the top. It's good.
Yeah, I like the layout of this theme.
Over 5,000 roofs installed.
I
23
think
years. That's the kind of
proof.
Yeah, trust building stuff I was talking about last week.
Yeah. Not bad.
Testimonials.
Is that a KML file there? Or that's the image? Get your free estimate for get your free estimate for a limited time. We will upgrade you for our 25-year guaranteed shingles to our. You know what I would love to see? That's so awesome that you have that, Mitch. I would love to see. It's a little wordy. I have to extract it neurocognitively, and that's not ideal. Maybe could you have something above that that just drives me to read it, like, because that's really important, right? Free estimate.
He's got this. Free 50-year shingle.
Free 50. I don't know why my brain is just having a hard time extracting the value from it. Free 50-year. Take out the YR dot and put year. Spell it out fully. You want to remove any obstacles to heuristics that cause me to think. That's my opinion. There's a lot of symbols, and it takes me a minute for my brain to extract that. I don't have to explain it. I just know that it's not as smooth as it could be. Okay. You've got 50 YR. My brain has to translate YR into year. Shingle upgrade and 24/7. That's okay. I mean, to me, I'm just saying that it's such a huge value that I would like put it somewhere like 5 words, and I can read it like, wow, okay, that's in there, and then I will drill down because that's huge.
Yeah.
Somewhere it should say free estimate in giant red flashing letters that reach out of the TV and grab me and slam my head on the forehead on it, because that's really.
This one right here. Free estimates and shingle upgrade.
I wonder why it's so low down there. I'm being nitpicky here, Mitch, so ignore me, but it's so good. Free estimate shingle upgrade. There it is. I wonder if it could go higher. Yeah, I love that button at the bottom. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd make it red, but it does probably a designer like finicky thing. I can't go red because I have a blue framework. Okay, I would make it red and like puffy and like pulsating like a
Here's
ganglia.
another one. Free estimate and shingle upgrade.
Yeah, it's everywhere except at the top. Well, I mean, it's really, really good. I'm being
Oh,
overly.
it's actually here too.
There it is. I can't see it.
see it.
Hey, Mitch, I can't see it in the blue, man. Sue missed it
It's too
too.
much blue.
Yeah, give me a red. They're going to hate it. The client's going to hate it, and it's going to convert 10 times better. Make it red. I don't know what to tell you in those kinds of situations. The client says no.
Well,
The design doesn't look pretty anymore.
Bright red, you could even go kind of an orangey red like this here.
Right, right.
If you did that color, it would pop.
Yeah, find a compromise. Tyson's saying green. Tyson, I wouldn't make that green. Actually, maybe it would work. We could test it. Who knows? I don't want to be arbitrary colors here.
Yeah.
But red, or slight red, like maybe a compromise that works with that blue. Again, same criticism on the video. I don't know why everybody's making these fiber videos for like home businesses. Kind of annoys me because they don't understand that they can convert 20% better with real people. That's just a Russellism, so take it or leave it. I know that some business owners don't want to talk about their business and they don't want to talk about how long they've been in business. But that's just me. That's a minor, I know you got limits in what your owner is willing to produce.
So interestingly enough, when you've got the drop-down menu like this, it seems like we have one of these every month.
Yeah.
You're bleeding your silo, you're bleeding your theme, right? So all of your pages link to all of your other pages because your menus drop down. Most likely, I haven't been through the whole site yet, but that's going to keep you. I mean, if you're really just trying to rank for roofing services or I forgot what this is, Halton Hills Roofing, then
I don't think
you
anybody.
could have all of your pages linked to each other, but if you're actually trying to rank for more than just one or two keywords, then you want to separate that out so that they rank better. I mean, the truth of the matter is you don't really have enough pages on this site to rank for more than a couple of terms.
Hey, Jim.
You haven't.
Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy, how do you feel about drop-down menus?
I mean, they can bleed a little bit, but I still think it'd be better to silo it.
Yeah. I'm just wondering why nobody believes us on the drop-down menus. Like, this is the fourth one in the last.
So, I mean, I'm just looking at the number of pages. Like, there's not actually enough content here to make silos. We've only got one topic. It's really only residential roofing. Residential roofing, commercial business roofing. Like, if you want to rank for residential roofing, you need more than just one page. And then again, Halton Hills might be a really small community, and so maybe you can't get away with that. But if you're having problems ranking for the terms that you want to rank, then I would split these out. Residential roofing being one silo, commercial roofing being another silo, and put a few more pages in there that bolster that theme, or whatever keywords are important to your client.
Okay.
Most WordPress themes come with a menu bar like that, absolutely, which is why we wrote our own silo plugin.
Yeah, well, we can totally do
we had
that.
to jump through a huge hoop to make it silo.
And I realize a lot of clients on their local things, Mitch, don't necessarily like the layout, design, look of our silo plugin. They want those buttons like you have there in this. So there's always these compromises that you're making. You can manually silo some themes and still manage the design elements. And so I know that you guys are facing a lot of different factors when you're out in the field. I get that. When I get out in the field, I'm like, the client will always default to like cute design, not SEO or optimal technical. They just will. So you just have to do your best with that and keep that in mind.
I'd rather be poor and pretty.
You'd rather be poor and pretty than rich and like technically correct. So
right.
Yeah, it's funny.
Being technically correct is good.
I think so.
I've had a quick look at the structured data testing tool, and I think if I do that, I've just put the link through to everybody in the chat.
Okay.
So there's some interesting things here to be aware of.
Okay.
It's good that we've got the publisher markup. Okay, that's going to stay there. So what that's saying is that this person has linked to an official page on Google. That's good. If we look at the HCard markup, the extracted structured data, there's an interesting error URL or an error message at the bottom. Now, the actual theme itself hasn't got any semantics in. Yoast's SEO plugin is doing the bit below this. So this kind of extracted structured data comes from the theme itself, the old HCard. Bear in mind that there's now H-card, which will be coming forward as well. Okay. A lot of things are going to change with that, but that error message is basically telling you that the marked up content doesn't appear to be the main focus of the page. And that what I want to get over to people is that Google can now tell the focus of the page if you get your markup right, and if you don't structure it properly, it's saying we're going to ignore all of that information.
Okay.
It will still use it, but it's not going to give you the rich snippet that you might get if you get it right. And then if you come down to the bottom with the RDFA node, that is created from Google's, Yoast's SEO plugin. There's Twitter card markup in there. Most of you on the call know my feelings about sort of this, so we're not going to go there. again, it comes down to client sort of expectations, budget. You don't know what you're getting until you know what the benefits of doing other things are in other ways. There's nothing really wrong with it. There's no error messages there. It's just Yoast's plugin. For those of you that aren't aware, I'm one of these people that believes that you can do a lot more for Google and other search engines using structured methods than you can by loading up your blog and slowing it down with lots of other plugins that appear useful and do a certain job, but if you're not fully conversant with what it is that it's doing, you're not helping yourself as much as you can. And I think just looking at this whole page, yes, HCard is good. Google, sort of can see that it's not structured properly. There's some errors with the HATM feed. I'm not that worried personally at this stage. If that changes, I'll let everyone know. It's got some RDFA in there. The pages will show well on Facebook as a result of that. Having the Twitter card, when your pages are tweeted using sort of any method, including social explosion, then any good images that you've got on there will appear as a Twitter card. So it's a good thing to have. Just be aware of things that are coming forward that you might have to change some of the plugins that you use, or hope that sort of Yoast and other SEO plugins update as things change as quickly as they're going to.
And to add that to what Kevin just said, having Kevin and Jimmy and Sue all together in a room for several days this last, oh gosh, it was a month anyway, time is flying. The all new video silo plugin and its companion, which is a single, we'll get into that later, will be launching. It includes its own sitemap, all authenticated by Jimmy and Kelley and Kevin together, and Sue. This means that we're not going to have a lot of fluff on there. It's going to be taking a lot of, can I use the word bloatware without making Yoast mad? Okay. It takes a lot of that stuff away and keeps it really super lean. And since Jimmy was signing off on the hardcore SEO potentials and with Sue, Kevin was making sure that the semantic markup is now and future king in terms of what's going on with that. It's going to be really amazing and light on its feet, so you won't have to worry about that kind of stuff anymore. Also, of course, the pin bid semantic theme we worked on while he was here as well. I learned a ton from Kevin. I got to tell you, I'm under an educational process with both Kevin and Jimmy. I'm a marketer, damn it, not a technologist or a techno guy. So the whole thing has really been quite, all of us have been exchanging from our field with each other, so it makes the plugins and the courses that we're building extremely accurate and articulate and extremely powerful. A lot less fluff. When I was doing certain kinds of courses on my own where I was trying to incorporate technology with the marketing stuff, now it's incredibly accurate in terms of the semantic stuff. So those new plugins will be coming. One question that just came in from Tyson, which I thought was really, really good. What's the pros and cons of having YouTube video self-hosted versus video embedded? And that's actually a conversation I learned a ton from Kevin while he was here. The Yoast video plugin, which I know y'all know is very, very expensive. Our new plugin coming up has the video sitemap actually built right into it. It's a little bit heavy, and sitting down with Kevin and getting like a week's worth of lessons on how semantic markup actually works was really clear. It's the video, we have to make some adjustments, and we'll be marking up the videos in the the new PinVid plugin, the new Silo plugin, so that it doesn't have to be so heavy on your site and your server. It's exactly what Kevin was just saying. So to answer your question, Tyson, you can mark up a video, if it's self-hosted in the same way, you can mark up something that's embedded, and we're not going to get into that here. But the disadvantage would be on Jimmy and Sue's side of things. You don't get the embed. We talk about in tomorrow's webinar for the certification level 2. You don't get the iframe punch embedded kind of domain authority working that you can do with the embedded stuff. Okay, so we do get into that quite a bit, but Tyson, the main aspect is, depending upon what you're doing, is if you're doing curation or video curation or iframe punch, or what Jimmy and I are now calling iframe punch reloaded or 2.0, that if you don't have the embed, you're not going to get the same leverage from that. That should be a fast answer. But the point is that from Kevin's perspective, either one can be marked up. It's a video markup. It's a very technical and specific and accurate way of marking either one of those up. Does that make sense, Tyson?
What I'd like to add there, Russ, is that something that Russ taught me as well, as he said, this was a two-way process, four-way at one point, where we were all sort of feeding off one another.
True.
Is that YouTube videos in certain marketplaces have a value that isn't as perceived as valuable as if you host your own videos.
Yep.
So, you know, getting that YouTube tube branding on a video, people know that it's a YouTube video. Yeah, you're going to get likes and thumbs up and messages and everything else, but depending on who your target market is, having your own player with your own hosted videos and branding it with you is just as valuable from that perspective of what the client sees. So while we've got the technical aspect underneath, having the player and where you control the video from, that can be marked up either way. So, you know, what Russ taught me was that the market defines the type of hosting for the video that you'll put on there.
Yep, and what came out of that, which I think was late on the last couple of nights you were there, Kevin, is there are ways. We have an evil plan for our own player, and we'll just let you guys know, and it will be marked up, and it will allow you to do either or, Tyson. Okay, so we'll just leave it at that. Hey, Jimmy, so what's going on on your side of the, what is going on in your neck of the woods?
Well, overall, I don't think, yeah, I guess you could share my screen.
How do you list your domain on, okay, that's, questions come in again. Okay. How about if you guys are picking up something in this webinar, give me a 1. And if you haven't, don't say anything. No, give me a 2. I'm looking for some feedback from the community. Are you guys getting some kick-ass stuff? Ooh, we got 1 with an exclamation mark, 1 with the smiley face. Ooh, we got a wall of 1s, you guys. Kevin, they're liking it. Jimmy, they're liking it. Sue, they love it. Okay, thanks, guys. Just need a little feedback once in a while.
Okay, so on your site, you do cover a lot of the same topic, and you are dealing with a kind of an EMD. You know, it's like a partial match because you are trying to rank for roofing. And then your city modifier would just be done via the title, which you did right on this one. But when you start, you got to be careful whenever you have your keyword within your root domain, because if you look over at your, not that one, this one, if you look over at this one, you got to be careful when you start rolling out these kinds. You have roofing in here, so when you start getting closer to it, it's going to be, because these are your anchors, it's going to count as a partial match because you have roofing in it. So you got to be careful as you roll out your anchors. So typically on this type of site, I would start with more other type links, or the pure diverse type links first, and then I would move to your branded links, and then at the very end you would do your money keyword. So you just got to pay attention to that. With a lot of these anchors, I see, you know, they're variations for URL and stuff, but just know that those are counting as partial matches for your main keyword. The other thing, so I didn't run a screaming frog in this because I couldn't get to pull up. It keeps crashing on me every time I try to put it on the other screen. But if you look at this, when you're looking at your site as a whole, so I noticed, like, if you go and you look at your code here, so if you look at your page source, you just go down to your meta. So on here you have the no DP and the no Yahoo directory. So this basically states that you're telling Google that you want control over your title and your metas. So in that instance, you're basically forcing Google to pull what you have in for your description and then for your title, which is somewhere in the code. So you just want to be careful with that, because on a lot of them you include your keywords again in there, which is roofing. So I usually just want to set this to follow index, and then just make sure you're putting the keywords that you want to rank for within the content, and it'll pull that for you, especially within the first paragraph of your page. So I like to give Google control back over that. The only exception is, if you have a good converting page, feel free to do that style on that to force them to show your basically call to action in the description. The other thing on your site, so like in this instance, I mean, in regards to the silo, I think if I were to do at least one silo on this, because you have roofing in the root of your URL, I'd probably go in here. I don't know what you think about this, Sue, but I think you'd probably do a silo that says services, and then underneath it do residential, business. You'd almost make a silo out of just services. But that way you're going to eliminate, instead of this page saying free roofing inspection, I just do free inspection. And then the content will define what it is you're trying to display to Google, because when you look at this, it's got roofing a lot of times over and over in it. And when you look at that in the Centro, you can see that you're a little high on here. It's not bad, but it needs to be brought down a little bit, and that can be done with adjusting those menu items that you have on that page. So that's what
Perfect.
That's what I would see.
That's kick ass, Jimmy. Like seriously, kick ass. All right, you guys, give me a 1 just to thank Jimmy on that. If you learned something from that, this is like a sneak peek of the stuff we get in Traffic Hospital and domain authority stacking and all the other things that we're making, all the certification courses. Just want you guys to know that this, when you put the stuff together that you've seen on today's webinar, it's seriously badass stuff. Okay, like high level pro integration of all aspects, both SEO, silo architecture, persuasion architecture, and semantic framework. Okay. So this is really, really this is why we offer these monthly courses also to keep you guys who are in a basic membership area, to keep up to speed with what it is that we're doing, and also to give you a sneak peek about what's happening at our certification level event. How many of you guys have a goal, guys and gals, have a goal of making it eventually to one of our live events to hang out with us, learn the stuff that we never record, never put online, never put in our webinars, get to know us and work with the certification level network building? Give me a 1 if you're thinking about it. It's a hope or a dream, even if it's a slight hope or dream. Yep, okay, we got a wall of 1s. Good. And if you're not familiar with that, please do contact me on Skype or also visit swallowyourmarketwhole.com. You can learn about all the various certification courses and upgrades. Where there's a will, there's a way. We've made it so that all the courses that you take, and we know that some of you are working hard to get your first clients. We know the financial issues that you face when you're just starting out as an agency or working for your own business. We've made it so that you can deduct the price of any of the certification course from the cost, use it as a voucher against the cost of your live certification event. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and drop that since Carol just asked for it. It's www.swallowyourmarketwhole.com, and in that we have laid out all of the certification level courses that really allows us to get into this stuff seriously with you guys, ultimately leading all the way to the certification event where Kevin, Jimmy, Sue, myself show up and literally, I didn't think I got the entire audience here. We're able to teach you this in person, but you get so much. Even if you don't go to the live certification event this year, you can actually use any of these certification courses or upgraded courses towards the cost of the certification event this upcoming year in March. We recommend that you attend, or any future events, which probably will be 2016, so we recommend this year. Okay, we have live certification level 3, which is the automatic pin bid traffic course. It's the most dangerously powerful course that we've ever taught as an organization, I would say, in terms of automation. Okay, that'll be here. We're actually going to send an email out today. Kevin's hosting service is ready. Literally, you can scale up and join the 1 billion page club if you want and drive traffic sustainably to your money sites. This has never been taught before to our students, so we are really excited about it. Again, another course that you can just deduct from the cost of your live certification event. So I'm really, really excited about all of these. EJ is asking, if I end up buying all certification level courses, is that the same as a live event? No, EJ, what it means is you can subtract the cost, the total cost of all of those courses from the cost of your certification event, dropping the price from $20,000 to $6,714. Okay? So I guess, oh my gosh, have I entered into a platform pitch? I have, but you know what? I don't care. It's really cool. EJ, the thing is that if you take 1 or 5 of these courses, you can subtract any or all of the costs away from the live certification event. The early bird cost of this event goes up to December 1st, all right, which is where we raise the price from $20,000 to $30,000. So you definitely want to take any of the courses that you've taken and subtract them from the cost. Back and drive. Actually, when I saw that number, when Sue and I first started doing the math, I was like, Sue, that's only $6,700 to go to a live network empire, learn how to build a semantically integrated, socially activated, one web ring, perpetual downstream, domain authority stacking, and ranking system. And she was like, yeah. I'm like, that's stupid. And she was like, well, that's what it is. So I was like, okay. All right. So that's the story, you guys. You can put the cost of this, you can subtract the cost from any of the live certification events as we move towards the certification level. We're moving towards a college level curriculum because I hope you guys have gleaned today that you are going to be around masters. EJ is also asking in terms of content. There are 5 major takeaways. I can't mention them all that we do not show anywhere other than live certification event, EJ. One of them includes the battery method of Jimmy Kelley's, the social persona integration system with Sue Bell and Kevin Polly, a few of my own tricks in neuromarketing that I don't talk about anywhere. We have to leave some of the major secrets for the live event, you guys. Also,
there's a lot more than just 5.
Yeah, well, I had to throw out a number, so I just pulled one out.
Yeah, I know.
That's all that I'm ever doing is pulling numbers out of my head. The other thing, guys, and EJ, I really want you to know is that there's certain things that there's no way I'm learning from these guys. Okay, there's no possible way if I hadn't gotten together with Jimmy, Sue, and Kevin in person. Like, these are the most technically advanced people I've ever met, and I'm just glad to say that they're my business partners. If I hadn't sat with them for 5 days or a week, actually it was longer than that, Kevin, there is no possible way that I would have the level of understanding to be able to build out a perpetual traffic and domain authority stacking system that's going to be sustainable 5 years into the future. There's no possible way. So that's really the big takeaway. It's like I don't have to bribe you guys or say, like woo-woo. It's not woo-woo. It's wow. Okay?
Who wouldn't want automation?
Yeah. And that's just part of it. So, again, there's certain things that we just have to, the whiteboard's just not big enough on a webinar to show you a couple of things that we have. So I hope that
I would share in any
yeah, exactly.
any webinar that's getting recorded or anything.
Yeah, exactly. You just can't. And of course, I'm supposed to add, and I did not add that at the beginning of this webinar. We have a zero tolerance for digital theft, and all of these webinars and services that we offer for your own protection, we are regulating and very carefully watching what happens with these. So we want you to know that what happens in Network Empire at whatever level of membership and certification in which you're involved stays in Network Empire. Okay? We want to give you this information, first of all, to stave off any embarrassment if you think about trading or sharing, but mostly just to know that we are serious about protecting your digital content. And that's one of the reasons why we have the educational process that we do. And I won't get Kevin started on digital security. So just you've all read our disclaimer has gone viral. Because we have been successful in actually getting repairs and damages for our materials. So we do that for you guys. That's how much we care about what we're creating. So that's enough for today, you guys. Sue, do you have anything else to add in closing as the CEO of Network Empire and ThemeZoom?
No, I think the team's done a great job here. Thank you, everybody, for your time today, for being on the call.
Yep, this has been Russell Wright, Sue Bell, Jimmy Kelley, and Kevin Polly of Network Empire. Gosh, if I could name all of our organizations. SemanticWPthemes.com. And Kevin, your company is called?
Mutual Advantage.
Mutual Advantage. I consider him my semantic web mentor. JimmyKelley.org, also a part of Network Empire staff and team. Of course, his work precedes everything, so you guys know that. We look forward to seeing you at live events, and we look forward to seeing you in the various certification level and basic membership area. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, guys.